Hello, I'm so happy that I'm at your service to teach you unit or lesson 41 of 504 absolutely essential words on LELB Society at lelb.net. As usual, let me just show you the flashcards, hyperlink flashcards here in this unit. First we have juvenile. It refers to the young. As you can see on the left side, the person with an arrow above is a young, just performing arm wrestling with an middle-aged person. It's not that old, but anyway. So we just contrasted the case. And this is candidate, self-clear, and this one is idle, and this is culprit, the person who has been arrested by the police, and this is candidate again. And the point, a point as a verb means to assign, to fixate. Candidate again. So according with the help of this technology, whenever a word that has been assigned already appears in the text, the hyperlink just pops up. Possible, the green one is doable and the red one is not doable, and it is feasible. We are going to have these words in this unit. This is identify and or recognize, you can say, and this is lack or emptiness. Lack can be used as a verb too, remember. Okay, so let's begin. By the way, I have just added another feature on my website on top of that. If you want to improve your English and you want my help, you need my help, I can be reached at for example, you can click on this button and you can chat with me on Skype and also on Telegram. And the first session is free, so we can just explain or determine your level of proficiency and your goal. So we just set goals and also the course books that are going to be needed, and the procedure and timetable, and actually everything. It's going to be based on your needs and interests, and so it is free. And if you do not like it, so simply you do not like it, and no strings attached. Okay, so the first session and consultation and evaluation all are going to be free. Okay, so let me see. Alright, the first word is, let me see if the digital word is there. Yes, it is there and ready to be used. Complacent. Complacent means pleased with oneself, self-satisfied. It is not a positive word as confident. It is more than this, let's say overconfident. So the noun form is complacence. And okay, so if you are so pleased with yourself, you are complacent. Senator Troy denounced the complacent attitude of the polluters of our ware. Denounce means condemn, criticize. Okay. Senator Troy severely criticized this characteristic, negative characteristic, that is too selfish and arrogant attitude or reaction of the polluters of the air polluters. Also, we have arrogant or too selfish. Sentence B. How can you be complacent about such a menace? This is a rhetorical question, generally a question that is not intended to seek an answer. It is just actually posed or mentioned in order to complain about something. Okay, this is called rhetorical question. How can you be complacent about such a menace or threat? Menace means threat, source of danger. I was surprised that Martin was so complacent about his brief part in the play. Well, it is my exclamation, or I really don't know. I wonder why Martin was so complacent or just boastful about his brief part, his brief performance in a play. So he must have acted, for example, or taken a part in let's say in a play, and he is so boastful about it. Let me write it down. Boastful. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Word 2 is wasp. It's an insect with a slender body and powerful sting. I hope you have not been bitten by a wasp. A wasp is a bee without honey, so honeyless bee. So slender means thin, and slim, slim, body, and powerful sting. And sting, I hope, I'm sure you already know with that, but as I said, I hope you have not been bitten by a bee. Okay. When the wasps descended on the picnic, we ran in all directions. Okay, when they just descended or went down on the picnic, for some reason, we ran in all directions. We just escaped. We ran away. And as a matter of fact, the wasps ruined our picnic. A swarm of wasps attacked us as we were reclining on the porch. Swarm refers to a group or crowd of insects, and also in some cases some other things, but generally of bees and wasps. Do not mistake this word with swamp. This is a swarm versus swamp. As I said, swarm is a group of insects generally, and also a group of people. And swamp is a tiny lake which is muddy and somehow smelly. It is limited. It does not just lead to another source of water. So this is a swamp. Okay. Okay, as we were reclining or lying down on the porch is an open area in front of your house without any wall. It's outdoor. It's an outdoor area. Okay. Sentence C. The piercing sting of a wasp can be very painful. Piercing or penetrating sting of a wasp can be very painful. That's why he said, I hope you have not been bitten by a wasp. Okay. Word 7. Rehabilitate means restore to good condition, make over in a new form, restore to former standing, rank and reputation, etc. Rehabilitate has two basic meanings. One means to recover from, to get back to its normal situation or condition, particularly physically. For example, if somebody is sick and after taking some rest, actually he or she can rehabilitate from that. And also it can be put mentally and psychologically. For example, there is a culprit or criminal, and he or she is taken to the prison, and he just spends that period of time in the prison that is sentenced or assigned by the judge, and after that actually the prisoner or culprit is supposed to be rehabilitated or corrected. Sentence A. The old house was rehabilitated at enormous expense. Yeah, the old house was repaired, fixed at enormous expense, at a high cost, because it was old. The former criminal completely rehabilitated himself and was respected by all. The former or previous criminal completely or thoroughly corrected himself. He was a changed person and was respected by all, and he was respectable now. Okay. Sentence C. The wing of the house must be rehabilitated promptly, as there is a danger it will collapse. The wing means an open area, generally outside a house. It's an open area of the house must be rehabilitated or repaired. Promptly means immediately. As here means because there is a danger it will collapse or fall down. Okay. Parole means word of honor, conditional freedom to free a prisoner under certain conditions. So it's clear. So a prisoner can be set free or can be exempted temporarily, or sometimes even actually permanently under certain conditions. Okay, so it is conditional freedom. The judge paroled the juvenile offenders on condition that they report to him every 3 months. The judge in the court of law freed their juvenile offenders, young criminals, on this condition that, so there was an if, or a condition that they report to him every 3 months to see that if they have been rehabilitated, in reference to the previous word. You know, in English it's important for you to just use your recently learned words and phrases. do not just memorize words. It's not a good idea to memorize words. Like, for example, take a list of new words and just memorize them like an automaton, or let's say cassette player, or a voice recorder. It's parrot learning, and it's not good. You need to use your words in your everyday conversation. Perhaps you need to have a language partner to practice English with. And if you do not have any language partner, I think actually if you're interested to use your words in your daily conversation, but you don't have this chance, perhaps our conversation classes, group conversation classes, can help you. So we hold actually each challenging and interesting topic, and the students just start challenging each other and having a conversation in group. And I think that is a perfect idea to practice your new words, and also it is topic based. Okay, sentence B. Since the prisoner has been rehabilitated, the family is exploring the possibility of having him paroled. Since means because the prisoner has been corrected, his family is exploring, is investigating, is probing the possibility or prospect or chance of having him paroled. Means freed, or exempting him, or just taking him out of the prison. Sentence C. The fugitive gave his parole not to try to escape again. Fugitive is a person who has escaped from his or her punishment. That's why it is fugitive. Gave his parole or word of honor or promise not to try to escape again. But generally you cannot expect a fugitive to be loyal to his parole about escaping, because it is ironic. Okay. Vertical. Vertical means straight up and down with reference to the horizon. For example, a vertical line. Remember this, I just move the cursor of my mouse here. This is a vertical line, and this line is horizontal. So this is horizontal, and this is, I cannot show it here, and this is vertical. And let me see. This is horizon, and the adjective form is horizontal, so pronunciation changes. Horizontal. And for vertical, you can say perpendicular. Okay. All right. It wasn't easy to get the drunken man into a vertical position. Okay. Because he was just lying down, and he was unconscious, and he could not stand up, stand on his own feet. Sentence B. The way to vote for your candidate is to pull the lever from the horizontal position to the vertical position. So if you want to just vote for or thumb up, the opposite is vote against or thumb down, or show your approval to your candidate. you need to actually pull the lever or stick, stick, or handle. It's a kind of machine, or it's a piece of machinery, from the horizontal position to the vertical position. You need to lift it. So you need to lift the lever in order to vote for your candidate. Okay. Sentence C. A circle surrounding a vertical line that ends in an inverted V is the well-known peace symbol. It's an icon or a symbol, a circle surrounded by. A circle in the middle of a vertical line that ends in an inverted V. This is V. An inverted V is the opposite form of that. Let's say this one, which is called a wedge in English phonetics, like a mountain, is the well-known or famous peace. Peace means friendliness, no antagonism, means fraternity, cooperation, and peace symbol. So it's just explaining or describing the symbol of peace. Okay. Word 6. Multitude means a great number, a crowd. A multitude of letters kept pouring in the movie idle. A group of letters kept pouring, just where we were receiving, or let's say that movie idol is a pop star, superstar, was receiving hundreds or thousands of letters because he was or she was really famous, celebrated as a celebrity. It's clear that the person receives so much attention from the population. Okay. Sentence B. The fleeing culprit was pursued by a fierce multitude. Fleeing means escaping, running away. Culprit means criminal. Was pursued, followed, or chased, C-H-A-S-E, by a fierce, violent, angry, aggressive. Let me write it. Aggressive, furious multitude. A group of people were just following him to get him. Were here. Flood victims were aided by a multitude of volunteers. People who were victimized by flood or flood stricken were flood stricken, or those who were, for example, their houses had been struck by flood, were aided or helped or assisted by a group of volunteers. It's clear. Rescuers, for example. Alright, now that I've come to the middle of this lesson, let me just show you the flashcards, recent flashcard that I have added to Instagram. This is Frigid. So if you just follow me on Instagram, you will receive flashcards. And my Instagram ID is LELB _society. This is Frigid, means cold weather, cold, and also you can say Chile. This is an IELTS essay question, together with complete explanation and correction, and written by one of the LELB students proudly. And this is qualify, means to be eligible and qualified. This is dismal, means depressing or depressed or sad, gloomy. Unaccustomed. Unaccustomed means not used to. As you can see, this person is seems to be, actually it is the first time for him to give a lecture or make a speech. So he is unaccustomed to that. And this is data or facts. This is bachelor. Okay. So that's it. And now let me get back to word 7. Okay. This is nominate. Word 7 is nominate, means name as a candidate for office, appoint to an office. Yeah, it's clear. Nominate. And also not necessarily an office for anything. For example, an actor must be nominated for Oscar, you know. Okay, 3 times Bryant was nominated for office, but he was never elected. Office here means perhaps actually to become a senator in the US government system, okay, or Congress. So he was just selected as some candidates, but he could not win the competition. The president nominated him for Secretary of State. President here means chief executive, means the president of the United States, because first of all it is with capital P, and then we have Secretary of State. So these are 2 hints that can clarify the point that this president must refer to the president of the United States or chief executive. He nominated him or chose him for Secretary of State. Secretary with capital S means a cabinet member or even a governor, okay, of the state. For example, New York, Washington, and province. Sentence C. Though Danny was nominated last, he emerged as the strongest candidate. Though he was nominated or selected as the last candidate, okay, or person, he emerged, means appeared or turned out to be as the strongest candidate. So, okay, so the chances were that he could win the candidacy or that competition. Word 8, potential, possibly a possibility as opposed to actuality, capability of coming into being or action, possible as opposed to actual, capable of coming into being or action. It's clear. Potential, it's a very simple word. Mark has the potential of being completely rehabilitated. So here we must come to this conclusion that it's a psychological issue. For example, Mark has committed some crime, but based on his personality we can come to this conclusion that he might be rehabilitated or actually corrected. The coach felt his team had the potential to reach the finals. The coach or trainer, especially in a sports team, felt or thought that his team had the potential or ability to reach the finals, to come to the last part of the tournament. Sentence C. Stockpiling of nuclear weapons represents a potential threat to human survival. Sorry. Stockpiling means just hoarding. Let me write it down. Stockpile means hoard or collect or accumulate. Accumulate, put together, of nuclear weapons represents or shows or indicates a potential threat or menace or danger to human survival. It may just place the extinction of humans on the verge or on the edge, let's say. So it is dangerous. It may end up just annihilating humans or mankind. Okay, word 9. Morgue. A place where bodies of unknown persons found dead are kept. In a hospital, for example, in which it's like a fridge, you know, in order to keep the corpse or dead bodies in a low temperature atmosphere so that they won't decay so soon and their identities actually could be recognized. I'm sorry. And also the reference library of a newspaper office, a place where in a newspaper office where reference libraries and let's say reference documents are kept or stored. Sentence A. There is a slender chance that we can identify the body in the morgue. Slender chance is a slim chance, weak possibility that we can identify or recognize the corpse or body in the morgue, because the identity of this person actually is so elusive or difficult, perhaps because of the appearance that has been deformed. B. Bodies in the morgue are preserved by low temperatures. Yeah. Corpses in the morgue are preserved or kept or taken care of or conserved by low temperature. As I said, it's like a fridge, a refrigerator in shelves. In the morgue of the New York Times, there are biographies of most famous people. So in that place where they just file the evidence, F-I-L-E, or the documents, you can have access to the biographies of famous or let's say well-known people. Word 10. Preoccupied. Took up all the attention. So it means concerned. Getting to school in time for the test preoccupied Judy's mind. So she was on the way to school and there was a test, perhaps a very difficult one, and Judy was preoccupied with that. It means that she could not think about anything else. My boss is always preoccupied with ways of cutting down on the workers' lateness. So the boss is always preoccupied with means concerned with the ways or techniques or strategies to reduce the lateness of workers or employees. Charity cases preoccupied Mrs. Reynoldo's attention. So she must be a very generous person, thinking about giving charity and helping the poor. Yeah, it's clear. Generous, let me write it down. Generous, and the opposite is stingy or miserly. Upholstery is coverings and cushions for furniture. Some piece of cloth to cover and mend or repair some furniture. It depends. Our old sofa was given new velvet upholstery. Old sofa, armchair or furniture was given new velvet, usually an expensive piece of cloth, generally in red, but not necessarily upholstery. So we tried to redecorate the sofa. The Brown's upholstery was so new that we were wary about visiting them with the children. So here pay attention to this structure, the plus a noun with a capital letter plus generally an apostrophe. It refers to a family. So the Brown's upholstery, it refers to the upholstery of the family of Browns, of the Browns. Was so new, it was new that we were wary. Means cautious, careful, wary about visiting them with the children, because the children could just damage or let's say make it dirty. Make what? The new upholstery. Okay, this is wary and this is weary. Okay, this means cautious, and this means weary, means exhausted. Or tired. So you can see these are very close to each other, but quite different in meaning. Okay. Sentence C. $35 was the estimate for changing the upholstery on the dining room chairs. So it was estimated or somehow calculated with lower, let's say, accuracy or precision for changing the upholstery on the dining room chairs. Yeah, we just made an estimate that it would cost us $35 to just change the upholstery. And the last word is indifference. Indifference means carefree. Indifferent as an adjective. means not paying attention to. As cool as a cucumber, it's an idiom. Lack of interest, care, or attention. Alan's indifference to his schoolwork worried his parents. So he was indifferent to schoolwork or homework, and this point made his parents worried. Clear. It was a matter of indifference to Bernie whether the story circulating about his engagement was true or not. It was a matter of indifference to Bernie whether the story, so it was not a big deal. It was a matter of indifference to Bernie. Bernie was indifferent to this point, whether the story circulating about his engagement was true or not. So he was indifferent whether the rumor, R-U-M-O-R, story circulating, rumor, about his engagement, the possibility of being engaged, having a fiancé, was true or not. My father could not refrain from commenting on Linda's indifference toward her brother's tears. My father could not control himself from some situation, could not prevent, could not abstain. So commenting on means lecturing, chiding, C-H-I-D-E, telling off Linda's indifference toward her brother's tears. So let's say Linda must be a callous person here in this situation, or indifferent, not paying attention to the tears of her little brother. We can come to this conclusion, and the father was so upset about it. Okay, Linda's little brother actually was crying or sobbing, S-O-B-B-I-N-G, and Linda was so indifferent to that, and because of that the father actually criticized Linda. That's it. And as you know, you must be familiar with this structure, and if you have any question, you can log in and leave your questions in this comment box, and also you can listen to or watch the latest video produced by me on Apparat and YouTube, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel to receive further English lessons. And that's it. Here is the stream of activities on my Facebook fan page, Learn English to Live Better. So if you just like this page, you will be notified of the let's say recent activities or stream of activities. And if you want to attend my English classes online, you can have access to me in this part of the footer, contact information, and even an easier task is to just focus on the narrow let's say strip here in yellow, and you can contact me on Skype and Telegram. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and take care of yourself, and bye bye.